Hi folks, I have a pretty big Beatles update today, so I'm going to try to make it as fast as possible, but I got a lot of stuff, so let's begin right away. You start with something that's just a piece of memorabilia. This is not an album. It's a Beatles 1966 tour book. I already had this, but I wanted to get this one because it was really a really clean upgrade, and I really like the quality of this. It's almost perfect. The spine is all intact and nice. There's a very slight kind of scuffing over there, but other than that, this is probably the best quality version of this that I've seen. Just to give you some shots in there. Nice pictures of the Beatles from the era. Got the spotlight on the Ringo there. Really nice. This might be my favorite tour book out of all of them. Okay, now when I show this video, I'm going to show 3 copies of the Revolver album, and I guess it's a good time for that because it's the 50th anniversary this year. But I'm not going to show them all consecutively. I'm going to mix them up within the video. So not going to be much description with this one. If you watch a video that I just made about a week ago, a few days ago, you'll see what I mean about this. This is a German copy, the Horzu label. And I made a video about how this was a sealed album originally, and a guy bought the sealed album before I had a chance to get it, really. I wasn't even sure I was going to buy it right away, and he bought it and decided to open it up, but then decided he didn't like the record. He wanted the mono mix instead of the stereo mix. So instead what he did was he returned it to the store open. And although I would have liked to keep this one sealed, there it is. I think it's a 1969 press, or maybe early 70s. I'm not as big on the pressing as a lot of people. So you can see a video about sealed albums that I made just a couple of videos before this one. You get the full story of what happened with this album. Okay, as if I didn't have enough bootlegs, here's a bootleg that I got. This one's called another Yellow Matter Custard version. There's a lot of versions of Yellow Matter Custard, As Sweet As You Are. I really like the best about this back photograph. I mean, the material on here we've got plenty of times. Just the packaging that's nice sometimes to get again. And I really like the quality of this picture. So that's the main reason I bought it, and it was affordable enough. If it had been, in fact, it was hanging up on the wall actually, and it was too expensive for this thing. eventually the store owner brought the price down. And once he brought the price down, I said, okay, I'm in. So I wasn't going to pay a lot for that. Let me turn this laptop down. Okay, we're going to zip back and forth between Beatles and solo Beatles albums for this video. Here's another copy of John Lennon Plastic Ono Band, and this is an original, and it's in the shrink wrap, which is a really nice find. Next up is a Beatles album that I actually almost didn't buy, and I'm glad I did, and I'll explain why to you. Here's a copy of German album, The Beatles' Greatest. Now this is a common album among collectors, and you find this one out there a lot. This particular album I have in the shrink wrap. I don't know if it's sealed. I'm forgetting what I have sealed and what I don't have sealed. But anyway, I have this one in nice shape. And again, it's a later pressing than what I have in the back there. It's 1969, I think. But so there was a new pile of records that came in, and I went through it, flipped through it, and I saw this cover, and I was like, I'm not even going to bother with this. This is my third copy of this. So I don't really need it, And later on, a customer was looking at it, and I discovered, which is kind of stupid of me not to have looked the first time, that it was an original. I figured it was just another one of those blue knockoffs, repressings. This is original on the white and red goldish ring label. I played the record at the store. It sounded really good. Cleaned it up there on the cleaning machine, the VPI, and it sounds good. So even though the cover leaves a little bit to be desired there on the top there, what a good find, because I was just content to just let it sit there and not really look at it. That's why you have to really make sure you check the labels out all the time. You never know what you're going to have. Okay, let's just bounce over from vinyl to a CD for a minute. I had a record road trip video that I made with my friend Anthony the other day, and I found this. It's something that I had a long time ago. It's a CD, bootleg. It's Dennis Elsas as a guest, John Lennon as a guest DJ on WNEW-FM radio. Now I have this cassette tape recorded off the radio. It's, if you don't know, it's one of John Lennon's finest couple of hours on radio. He's really funny. He really talks about the Beatles a lot. It's really good. You have to listen to it. I have it on tape, but I really wanted to get it on a CD, so now I was able to get that here. The only thing that was disappointing is that it's not the complete show. Every time I get one of these somewhere, whether it's I have a picture vinyl disc where it's just some of the show, it's not the full thing. They could have put the full show on here. I don't know why they didn't, because also at the end though is a couple of Howard Cosell bits with John Lennon, the old sports announcer now. We've all seen the common one when John appeared kind of on TV live talking about the Beatles and the possible reunion at the football game. That's easily obtainable. It runs like, a couple of minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. I thought that's what this interview was, but I was delighted to find out there's a much longer interview. I'm going to guess it came out to maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes with John by Howard Cosell, and it was really a good interview. And I never heard that one before, all from '74. When he was fighting to be in the U.S. and also when he had Walls and Bridges out. So it really turned out to be a nice package. I just wish that the Dennis Elsas NEW interview was longer. I don't know how I forgot to show this. I was going to show this at the top of the hour. I'm dragging it over here, trying to stay on camera here. Somebody brought this into the store. It's the Beatles CDs collection, which I have the Beatles CD collection already, but the owner decided what he was going to do was he was going to take out the CDs and sell them all separately and sell the box separately to make more money, which is fine with me because I didn't want the CDs. The CDs were all the original versions, the 1987 releases that I think have been bettered since then, and there's a couple of 1988 releases in there, I think, Past Masters set. So I just wanted the case, which is really cool. It opens up here like this. It opens up a lot easier than it looks on camera. It's just awkward because I'm holding it with one hand here. It slides up there, and you're supposed to put all the CDs in there. I did purchase this particular CD. This is an early version of the Beatles White Album, and the only reason I picked this one up is because I like this mix, I think, better than the 2009 remasters, believe it or not. I don't know if anyone out there was with me, but I wasn't so wild about the 2009 reissue of this. So I went and got this back again. So my goal is to put all my old 2009 CD run in here, along with this White Album. So it's going to be nice to house them in here. Now if I can just find a place to put this. There's also a booklet that I'm just going to briefly go through. Booklet here. wouldn't think it would be much. They talk about all the songs and all the albums, but there's also some good photographs in there too. Really nice descriptions of everything, and every album individually, along with some nice shots. So I was happy to get this for not expensive. Okay, now where were we? Okay, a while ago, a few videos ago, I say a few, several, 5, 6, who knows, I made a video where I was ranking the UK British Beatle albums in order of my preference from you know, most favorite to least favorite, at least my preference as of right now. And I did not have a copy of the UK Sgt. Pepper, which I now have, believe it or not. And I've got one now. I could have used this when I was making the thumbnail picture for that. I still may go back and substitute this because I'm showing an American Sgt. Pepper album for the thumbnail pic for the video. This, of course, is a 70s, right, reissue. Black with the little square Parlophone logo on it. But I don't know, it was not expensive, and I wouldn't have bought it if it was anything ridiculous. And I just thought I would add this to my collection, because I don't think I have a UK copy. Alright, next up, seems to be, next item, one of those albums that I find all the time. I mean, I keep upgrading this thing. It's not even really worth upgrading, to tell you the truth, but I bought this one because it was sealed. This is the Silver Beatles. It's got a nice cover, like the foil design there, and it's really sharp like this. You know, I had one open copy, then I bought a shrink wrap copy that was in the shrink, but it was a little more bent at the corners. This is going to be my last word on this. It's sealed. It's going to remain sealed. This is for a museum kind of piece. These tracks are available so many other places. There's no need to have to play this particular version of the album. I have the tracks everywhere. And okay, next, something a little offbeat. This was sealed, and I opened it. You know, just to show you, some of you people out there, I don't leave everything sealed. It depends on what it is. This is kind of a novelty item, Bring Back the Beatles by David Peel. Okay, David Peel is a cool guy. Doesn't sing very well. Hi David, how you doing out there? He was a New Yorker, I think in the Village, I'm not sure, but John Lennon actually was interested in this guy and actually hooked up with him. And he sings some songs here. You know, he had a song, this guy, David Peel, called "The Pope Smokes Dope." And I know that one of my viewers out there, Elliot, I think it's Elliot or somebody out there, forgive me, I can't remember things like I used to. I think he said he actually knows David Peel. I don't know, somebody did. Anyway, this has... He did "The Pope Smokes Dope," which is not on here. Then there's songs like, you know, "Bring Back the Beatles," the Beatles' "Pledge of Allegiance," the Ballad of James Paul McCartney, and "Keep John Lennon in America." There's even a little John Lennon interview on here, a little snippet. So, a nice, cool item. This one is an upgrade, if you can call it that. It's Jerry Inman, Lennon and McCartney Country Style. I had this. This was a nice one with the timing strip here. Upgraded quality. You know, country type of songs. I was almost going to play this for the background music here. I thought it would be interesting. You could see some of the tracks there if that shows up, and you could freeze it. If not, I don't know. Now we're back to the Revolver album again. I told you I was going to show 3 copies of Revolver in this video. Here's the second. This one is a Uruguay import. Let me take it out of here. You know, the Uruguay albums are not the best, but usually you can find them cheap because they are kind of cheap. They all come in this kind of like plastic wrap, permanent plastic wrap. And the labels always looked like this. And I had an opportunity when I was at one of my record stores on a record road trip with Anthony. I was going to buy the Yellow Submarine Uruguay import, and I didn't. And it wasn't expensive either. I don't know why I passed up on it. Maybe because it was Yellow Submarine, but I'm trying to get a complete set, and it was kind of foolish. If I knew I was going to run into the Revolver at another store later on, I probably would have went for the Yellow Submarine too. Okay, here's something that I was looking for, and this was a lucky break. I really wanted this. I didn't want to go crazy with the online nonsense. Found this in one of my other record stores. Paul McCartney, 1985, where he's got different mixes of this great song from Band on the Run, one of his best songs. Paul McCartney and Wings, and versus Timo Maas and James Teague. Original mix, radio edit, club mix. So let's just pull this out real briefly. Ooh, there goes the... I like when I drop the download cards. They're going to go in the garbage, so it doesn't really matter. But standard black vinyl, nice label. One side you got that, and the side you got picture of Paul. So I'm glad that this album didn't elude me any longer, and I was able to pick it up. Okay, next up, there was a film that came out in 1994, I believe it was, another one of those movies about the Beatles, and it was pretty good. I mean, none of them are perfect. They all take liberties and make up things, you know, like a lot of dramas do. This one called Backbeat, and it's basically a story of Stuart Sutcliffe falling in love with Astrid Kirchherr, and they were the other Beatles. I mean, it's also about the relationship between Stu Sutcliffe and John Lennon, and I think it's a decent one. I think the actor who plays John Lennon, and I'm sorry that his name fails me at the moment, I think he's a very good John Lennon. One of the best as far as his attitude goes. It seems like he's captured the John Lennon. Whereas in something like the movie Nowhere Boy, I personally thought the actor playing John wasn't right for that. Here's the inner sleeve, which is a nice reproduction there of Beatles era. Beatles hanging around in their leather jackets. Not a very exciting looking vinyl label. This is nice. This is harder paper. It's not cheap paper. Seems very sturdy. Okay, next item up. Go back to the solo Beatles for this one. George Harrison. I don't know if I have this already. Damn it! But this again, when you find something in good condition, you know, it's like, why would I even bother to resist? I'll take it out of here. Okay, it's a promotional item. I believe it's Got My Mind Set on You. I don't even know what the heck it is. George Harrison. It says. Be nice if I could read it. Got My Mind Set on You. Anyway, LP version, blah blah. Back is blank. Just white on the back. Got My Mind Set on You on one side, $3.50. It looks identical to me. But anyway, there's George's Dark Horse label. And again, I could swear I have this already. I'm not sure. But so if I have two, I'll sell them. I should say too, you know, that's how I get some money to buy this stuff. Is I sell stuff that I have in doubles, like the Beatles Tour Book that I showed at the beginning. You know, I had one already, and I was able to sell that and get a decent enough price to put towards records. Okay, guess what we're back to now? You want to take a guess? Revolver. Got another Revolver album here to show. And this one I really was excited to get. I really should take it out of this plastic to show you. It's a US copy. The US Revolver album is not desirable, really, you know. They cut off tracks. It's an original US in mono, in the shrink. And it's really in great shape. 1966. And I love the version of Tomorrow Never Knows. The mix on here is different. Of course, we know we've got that black capital label. And all you ardent fans out there who know the pressings can tell me. Believe me, as I say, I'm going to get the book. There's books out there. I see that all the time. Perry Cox's book and other people that tell you exactly what the differences are with the labels, and I've looked at that book from time to time. Just have to get it. Okay, it's funny, it looks like we're down to the last item here. And for the last item, I have a George Harrison UK version of All Things Must Pass box with the color cover. And I really like the design when they tried to upgrade it there, you know, for modern times. In 2000, was it? 2000, I think this came out. 2001, I think 2000. And really nice book with the lyrics. Here's the original cover in the back. The records themselves come in these sleeves. Very nice. And that's a pretty big finds for this one. Now, I'm supposed to, in a couple hours from right now, supposed to go to another record show. And I hope they don't have too much stuff there because I'm very low on funds. So, I got a special allowance that I spend, so I can't really go crazy here. So we'll see how we do, and hopefully I will get some more Beatles, but not too much of it. Thanks for watching.